Hello, everybody. Where's my song? Here it goes. Hey, everybody. I'm Cantonese Cat. Mara is being shown here. Weekly chart. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Probably looking like a higher low here on the weekly. It's formed a little bit of a tweezer. Generally, these are pretty good bottoms. And that's what I'm looking at. It's forming a little bit of a tweezer. You see the tweezer right down here? It could either be a tweezer top. These are tweezer tops right here. And that's a tweezer bottom. So maybe a little bit of trees are bottom here too, but it looks like those are trees or bottoms. Looks like price has tested support a couple times. Looks like it's finding pretty decent footing. It looks like it wants to go up higher potentially. This whole down move down here has been on lower volume. The weekly actually looks pretty decent. I'm going to go back out to the monthly here, zoom out here a little bit. The last 2 days, especially yesterday, really, when Mara went up a huge ton, really have helped kind of set the bull trend here on the Ichimoku cloud. And again, the Ichimoku cloud, you can see that there are a couple lines here. The Tenkan is on red, Kijun here is blue. Tenkan generally leads to Kijun, so if there's a cross between the two, basically you have a bullish cross. And both of these lines can serve either resistance or support, and you can see how it's been serving as resistance down here. When broke up above, couldn't serve as support, went back as resistance. Eventually now you're testing it as support here again. So far it's passed, and also Tenkan has passed above the Kijun. Both Tenkan and Kijun now has served as support. It tested this month. This is pretty bullish price action actually. I'm pretty encouraged by this price action so far on the monthly, and it looks like if we're able to really trying to break above this volume shelf over here, volume shelf, top volume shelf, I would say around like 32 or so. Volume shelf right down here, I see like 21. Price has really been bouncing back and forth between these two volume shelves, but right now it's kind of back above into this higher volume shelf right up here. So I think price is kind of tested, around 21 or so today, and I think that it's been trying to push above the volume shelf for months number 1, 2, 3, and 4 now. It's been eating up a lot of supply up here. It's also been having increased demand here. You can see the wick is getting a little bit, higher over time. It's got a little bit of an ascending triangle look, which is generally a pretty, bullish formation. But regardless, it doesn't matter how long it spends trying to pick about this volume shelf. Cypher, CFR spent about 9 months trying to pick about this. It's still not breaking out yet. But I do think that it's breaking out soon because you do have a bullish cross right around here. And I do think that once it's able to break above, I would say break about like 31 or so, it's probably going to go up to the 40s. The top of the clouds right around here. And after you get to around 40, you have a little bit small volume shelf here. You have another small volume shelf around 50. But once you break above that, I think like the sky is the limit. So there's a little bit of a lag with Mara compared to Clean Spark, but that's okay. This is still a pretty bullish setup. Again, you look at a weekly, higher highs and higher lows and higher highs and higher lows. It did went back down a little bit further than Clean Spark. The Tenkan was not able to hold its support on the weekly here. It did go back down and test the Kijun. The Kijun was kind of able to kind of serve support, as you see that there's a bounce here on this week. But overall, this all still seemed like pretty bullish price action here. If you go back to the monthly, in addition to looking at the Ichimoku cloud, you can look at the Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band is expanding. It's still riding along the upper Bollinger Band. The 20-month moving average is still crawling up ever since November. Lower Bollinger Band is also expanding down, so there's expansion of Bollinger Band. The tongue is crawling up. Price is on the upper part of the Bollinger Band. This is a bull trend. It's probably going to keep going for a while. Is it going to catch up or even surpass Clean Spark? I don't know. It's got a little bit more resistance than Clean Spark here, so probably not. But it's still a pretty good one. You don't have to always pick one. You can kind of diversify a little bit into the two if you believe in the fundamentals of it. But the trend is basically telling me like big money is buying. I can tell. Another thing I can also pull up is what the big money is doing. They're buying. They've been buying since December. There's a huge inflow. There was even a huge inflow back in February here too. You see the same thing on Fintel.io with the institutional data with spike in institutional ownership back in February, and you see that like on the Blackhead L3 banker fund flow. You can still see even further significant increase in the inflow, while price went sideways and volume went down. You have increase in banker inflow. What are big money doing? They're probably using this volatility to absorb shares. Traders are going to try to trade this range. They're absorbing shares the entire way. And it looks like price is probably going to bust out of here whenever it does. I don't know when it's going to be. Maybe next month, maybe a month after that, maybe 5 months or now. I don't know. I mean, if I have to put my bet on something, I think it's probably going to be next month or so, because price has really spent a lot of time around here ranging. There's a lot of energy that's being built up around here. So probably next month or so, but that's just a guess. Nobody really knows. How do I also think that it's probably going to be next month? Like if you look at the daily, you look at the Bollinger Band, actually it doesn't really tell you so much. Right now, the daily actually doesn't look too hot right now. It's trying to break above the 20 daily, but I think it's very similar to here. I think eventually it's going to end up breaking out because I do see a little bit of slight increased volume here on the daily. But I don't talk about the daily much. I talk about the weekly more. The weekly tells you, give you a much better idea of what the trend is, which is a bull trend, higher highs and higher lows, higher high and higher low. Initially, it kind of broke down the upsloping 20-week moving average here a little bit. And another way to kind of show that, instead of looking at the Bollinger Band, I can show up the Bollinger Support Band, which is consisting of the red right here, which is the 20-week simple moving average, and the green right here, which is the 21-week exponential moving average. This band is sloping up, is serving as support. Price went a little bit far, came back down as support before going up. This is classic bull trend. Like there's really nothing I'm really that concerned about. Price bounced from this volume shelf, initially finding resistance here. The volume shelf above. This is also pretty classic price action, so there's nothing for me to really get concerned about right now. This is still a bull trend. I just wanted to see it, spending more time to break above here. Maybe we get something a little bit more impulsive and able to kind of break above this volume shelf. Maybe even back test it down a little bit before bullish continuation. We'll see. But I do think that once we break above here, which could be soon, maybe over the next few weeks or so, we could probably end up hitting like the 40s from here. How do I also know there's a weekly bull trend? Because if you pull up the 50 and 100, 20 above 50 above 100, stack on the right side, 20 and 50 pointing up way high. 100 is just starting to kind of flatten. It's actually kind of up pointing a little bit. If you zoom in, it's actually kind of up pointing a little bit. 20, 50, 100 stacked the right way, all three pointing up. This is a pretty powerful bull trend. Even though it's not clean spark, it's still a pretty nice bull trend of its own right, if you will. Now, I'm pretty much done with talking about the Mara stock. I also want to make it like a two-parter. The other one I also want to talk about, which I think the price action is actually quite similar to Mara, is Bitfarms. It's kind of lagging behind a little bit. I'm just going to pull the monthly. You can see that it looks very, very similar. There's a little bit of a bull flag over here too with consolidation. Price has also kind of been bouncing between this volume shelf right here and this volume shelf here, just kind of been ping-ponging around. Once we break about around, like 3.7 or so, I think we can go to $5 pretty easily from here. But it's been consolidating. Volume has been consolidating. Guess what big money is doing? Let's see if we can see that. Big money's buying. Price consolidating. Big money's buying. Volume is going down. Trader's going to trade, but big money is absorbing shares, and looks like it could potentially have some pretty impulsive move up moving forward. You look at the Ichimoku Cloud, not quite as bullish as Mara. You don't quite have the bullish Tenkan Kijun cross quite just yet, but it will happen next month probably. And I would like for this month to really close about 2.41, which is the Tenkan line right here. Use that as support and bounce upwards. I do also like to see it close above the Kijun right here too, which is 2.5, although I think it's probably more important to close above the Tenkan. That's what I would like to see, so I get a little bit more comfort as turning this resistance here from Tenkan monthly into support here. That would be a pretty healthy kind of price action here. And if we're able to find support after it's trying to break above this volume shelf here from the months 1, 2, 3, maybe the next time we try to really finally break above it, maybe even back test a little bit. And then we hit the cloud right up here. The green right here is the start of the Ichimoku Cloud. There hasn't really been that much price action for Bitfarms, so the bottom of the Ichimoku Cloud is just starting to form. So if we're able to break above that, the volume shelf right up here, to get to the top of the Ichimoku Cloud, you're talking about also simultaneously hitting the bottom of the cloud here and also the bottom of this volume shelf here, which is around $5. I think that once it happens, it's going to happen pretty quickly, and price could basically double from here potentially within the next couple of months or so. We'll see how price action goes. We'll see if Bitcoin behaves. We'll see if IWM or the small caps, the Russell 2000. We'll see if those things behave, because I think they have very similar pool liquidity. So we'll see if those things behave. If it does, I think Bitfarms could look pretty decent from here. Now, in addition to looking at the Ichimoku cloud, we can put the Bollinger Band like we did for Mara. You can see same thing, Bollinger Band expansion, up and down. Not as impulsive as Clean Spark, but it's still up and down, and the crocodile mouth is open. The lips are pointing up and down, and the tongue is pointing up. It's ready to feed. 20-month moving average is pointing up here. It looks like it's going to probably continue to point up. This is a pretty nice bull flag here. It's forming here, consolidating underneath right there. And again, big money has been buying. So pretty good setup here moving forward. Now, that's the monthly here. Let's go and take a look at the, let's go and take a look at the weekly. The weekly also shows you that the 20-week moving average, which is shown here at the bull market support band here in the red, the green right here is the 21-week exponential moving average, whereas the red here is the 20-week simple moving average. This pointing up is going to push the price up higher, most likely. This is also a bull trend, again, confirmed by, if I put up 50 and 100 here, 20 pointing, 50 up pointing, 100 flattening, 20 above 50 above 100 stacking on top of one another. This is a bull trend. Weekly bull trend just started not long ago. You were talking about maybe the 2050 cross around June or so, but you're really talking about a full bull trend 20 over 50 over 100 really started around like February. So there's still a lot of room for it to potentially go up. Sell volume looks like it's been exhausting right here, and you have declining sell volume right into support right up here. So I think that it's probably done correcting soon. It's probably going to end up going up here and going to $5. Maybe, as soon as like Q2 of 2024 is kind of what I'm seeing. Of course, none of this is guaranteed. This is just kind of what I see. We'll see if it works out or not. I'm always interested in, follow through and see what happens next. Regardless, I don't really care that much in terms if I'm wrong short term, because basically what I'm seeing right here is that it broke about this whole range right here. Did a back test once and twice. And it looks like it's finding pretty good support here. There's a tweezer bottom right here too, just like Mara. I think most likely now that it's found a good footing, it's probably going to go up higher from here. The other thing to look at is if I put up the Ichimoku cloud, which again, the cloud's not going to tell you so much. I wish that the price would get above the Kijun here on the weekly, because right now it's got a little bit of breakdown and back test kind of thing. But again, I'm not that scared because of the greater degree trend seems to be pointing up. But there's some things I wish would look a little bit different, but I'm still liking the look on the monthly here when it's just about to have a bullish cross, and when price could potentially break out above the Tenkan here to close the month. We'll see what happens over the next 6 days. The trading months still have 6 more days left. There's still a couple of monsters here to fight, but we'll see how it goes. And thank you for listening. It's been about 13 minutes. We went through 2 major Bitcoin miner stocks. I hope both of these together with Clean Sparks. So thank you for listening. Have a good one. Bye.